Welcome back to Big Fat Fish Cards. Today we've got sort of an exciting video, I would say. A little bit of fun going on here. Today we're going to be updating you 6 months of really going hard. Well, I mean, not like ultra hard for the whole 6 months, but we've been focused for 6 months. We've been keeping track for 6 months. Since the beginning of 2025, we were really detailed about our notes, about our record keeping, so this number is fairly accurate. So we're going to update you on how much money that I've made so far in 2025. And I'm kind of going to walk you guys through and show you where we're at. So we will start. This was the last, I started really keeping track like December like 20th-ish. So this was December. We did $1,000 in the last like 2 weeks of December. So that was okay. But January is where things get a little, why does it do this every time? January things get a little spicy. So this is my sold. The green means we made profit on it. And the red means we were in the negatives on it for, we sold it for less, paid a lot of shipping, this, that, and the other, whatever. So you're going to have some cards that are like that. So this is what we sold in January. We sold 196 items, and we did $7,125 in revenue. So if you see over here, the card show, I kind of just have that separate. I like to know like how much of that came from the show, etc. Didn't really track expenses too well here, so I would kind of ignore all of that. But I broke it down by weeks. Week 3 was obviously the card show week. So card show obviously like half the revenue there. But we did a really good January considering in January we were at about 3 to 4 grand in inventory. So almost 2x. Our inventory is pretty crazy. February we did $2,693 in revenue. There was no card show in February. And then also I got sick for about a week. In February I kind of just had fallen out of interest. I didn't really want to do it anymore. This, that, and the other thing, whatever, excuses. So we didn't sell that much, but we still did 2,000, and we did $200 in profit, which is obviously not great. A lot of red in this one. I just wanted to sell shit because I thought I was going to get out of it. Then I changed my mind. So we ramped it back up in March. March, we had another card show. We actually had 2 card shows. So we sold, let's see, we did 220 items in March, and our purchases are a little bit more accurate here, but not totally. I'll let you know when they are. But we did $9,596. We almost hit the 10K mark in March. We did $1,700 in profit. And then obviously the shows, this show was awful. Any show that's under like 3 grand is not good. The show is also not great. So, but again, we were at around 4 grand of inventory here. April, kind of the same story. $9,833. Where there's only one card show, we did huge. I know we brought about 6 grand to this card show, so the inventory grew a little bit here. But obviously, when the card show makes up 2/3 of your revenue. Actually, there's another card show too. That card show was absolutely miserable to be at, but you live and you learn. So when we get into May, I don't remember. Yeah, so May I really started tracking more things, so I can kind of show you guys here. So you see our revenue, $21,071, a huge month. $5,000 in it's sort of gross profit. It's gross after the cost of goods and some of the other stuff. I guess it is gross then. But we had a couple of card shows in May. We actually had 3, just because this one happened to fall on the last day of the month. So we did 7,700 at that card show. That was our best show ever. Almost 3 grand at that card show, and then so we're basically at about 10 grand in card shows. That's about half. And then we tracked our spending, so we spent 1,300. Our net profit is 3,700. And then this is my payout and my brother's payout from the business. And then if we go over here, it's kind of how I keep track of things. We have the PC, so basically things that we took from the business, we pay cost to ourselves. And then I sold some of my ETBs back to the business. So I got credit for those basically against my tab, if you will. But we got a little bit more serious here, right? May was a huge month, and then June just ended, obviously. This is the last of the 6 months. $20,802, $4,164 in profit. Again, 2 shows. Crazy. We did, almost half of our revenue at shows. So we need to ramp up our online presence a little bit. The website, link in the description. Go ahead and buy from there. Obviously, we need more revenue from the website. So, but we had a lot of one-time expenses this month. and a lot of expenses that I could have pushed to other months that I chose not to. So this is our expense total down here. It's $2,463. It's only about 1,800 bucks in profit, which is okay. But we bought things like the GoPro to film the vendor POVs. We bought hotel and table for the show we went to that we did 7,000 at. So obviously good choice. Table for a show this month, front row in July in Portland. I'll be there. Some packs we opened with the family. We bought a pack dispenser that was nearly 80 bucks. Had a guy on eBay refund the card. That was 80 bucks. Some more cards. That was 130 bucks, right? Paid for the August show, the tables. Actually, I need to put in, I just paid for the September show too. Right, and this was from the trip. And then I paid, another $380 for the hotel, right? So some of those could be pushed to July or to August. But I chose to just stick them here. A lot of one-time expenses. It'll be all right. We'll live, and then, we'll move on from there. So, obviously another great month, but a lot of we're really card show heavy. So now is kind of the tipping point. I've been talking about this a little bit. I have to decide: are we going all into the card shows? Because if so, I can greatly reduce my time commitment to, the social media marketing, the Instagram stuff like that. If I'm not going to be selling if I'm only doing $5,000 out of the $20,000 we did online, or even a lot of this was local too, which I could do without a huge time commitment, and I could be doing other things like get a job or start another business or whatever. So we're talking about, is it worth it? So I think we'll see after July, ramping things up. I'm going to start posting some cards on eBay. We're big on TCG Player right now, so we'll see kind of how this number reflects and what that looks like. July, we do have 2 huge shows, so I'm expecting big numbers for July just from the shows alone. We have the Boise show, which is always good, and then we have the Portland Front Row Card Show, which should be a great show as well. So here's where we're at for July. We're at $380, $42 in profit. Obviously just started the month, so not a lot of info here. It's day 3, so. But you can see our number of items is growing. We're at 329 sold for the month, which is mostly card shows. My eyebrow doesn't work if my face is swollen. That's awesome. But if we come over to our open inventory, you can see we're sitting at about $11,600. So from, I'll walk you through the story. So from basically December, I was at about $3,000-ish in inventory, and then all the way up into May, I hit about $7,000. After May, during May, part of the reason we were able to do so much. After this show, which was the third, so basically like the 4th or the 5th, my brother and I actually joined forces. I had about $7,000 in inventory. He put in about $5,000, so we're sitting right about $12,000 beginning of May. Now, if you're thinking that and you're looking at this, and you're thinking that's less than $12,000, a couple of things. Number one, I believe we have the same, if not less, debt on the credit card, right? We just kind of roll it over. We buy a lot of stuff on there. So I think we're actually sitting a little bit lower than we were when we started in May. Also, that doesn't take into account all of these cards. So this is the graded spreadsheet. I take the cards that I'm going to... Where'd they go? They're gone. They died. Cards that I'm going to send to PSA, all these guys, and I put them in a separate part of the spreadsheet just because it's useful information. It's not technically in active inventory because I can't, right? I could, but I'm not going to sell them right now as they sit. So they're in a different part of the spreadsheet. So we currently have 3 submissions at PSA. We have a submission with, this is the raw price of the cards, $1,091. Obviously, when I sent them, might have changed. Probably did. And then this is our potential 10 if they all 10. This is our potential 9 if they all 9. So I think we're going to be somewhere about $3,000 in inventory returned. So if you're keeping track, that is, we're at like 11.5. So that would be 14.5-ish. Obviously, once they come back, you got to pay for it and all that. So I do like, we have potential value here. I prefer to just calculate the raw value, right? Even if they all get 9s or terrible grades. This value, I could crack them all out of the slabs. We would lose the grading fee right here. But I crack them all out if I wanted to and have this value still preserved. This value is guaranteed, basically, unless they light the package on fire. But, So I like to add this number to the total value. So add another 1,000, that's 12.5. Add another 1,300, that is 13.8. Add another 750, that's, oh, the math is really coming in strong here. That's 14.5, and then add another 1,000, and that is 15.5. So just in, since really the beginning of May, so about 2 full months, we've gone from about 12 grand to, if you count the cash we have and cash that's processing and stuff, to about 16 grand, give or take. Obviously, the PSA stuff could have been churned faster, but that so here's how I really like to do the calculation. I say we're at about 20 grand in inventory because this submission will be back this week or next week. So I'm counting this submission plus the 3,000, and then these all count as raw because they just got sent out, so they just barely got there. Still have a couple months to wait on those, but these I won't be waiting on for much longer, so I prefer to calculate about 3 grand in inventory there. So things are going up. It's hard to see when you look at it kind of close. Every day you're in it, it's hard to see the growth. And months like June, when we're selling most of our inventory at the card shows, most of our revenue's done at the card shows, it's really hard for me to quantify how well we're doing because every day, right, I'm not shipping out orders every day because I don't get that many orders. 5 grand in sales is not that many orders every day if we're doing 75% of the revenue at the card shows. So I think it's helpful to take a look and understand that this number is really big and this number is not that big, and the net profit is even smaller. So I didn't make $20,000 last month. In profit, we only made about $1,800. That's total for the business. So I'm only going to get paid like $300 for a whole month of work. And we traveled and we, did all the streams and everything else and post on social media, right? So definitely a lot more scaling to come, but this number should start to go up faster and faster and faster as the snowball gets rolling. That's really what we're here for. That's what we're doing. So appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Kind of an overview. I don't know if I've really showed you guys the spreadsheet like that. If you want me to break down anything else about the spreadsheet or the business, just let me know in the comments down below. As always, buy my stuff at bigfatfishcards.com. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. It's Fish Month, baby. Woo!